हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू द बॉयलर प्लेट। और इस वीडियो में मैंने वो सारी कैटेगरीज लिस्ट की हैं जिसमें से मैनेजरियल राउंड में क्वेश्चंस बनते हैं। तो ऑब्वियसली कैटेगरीज जेनरिक हैं, सो आप किसी भी प्रोफाइल से हो या फिर किसी भी प्रोफाइल के लिए इंटरव्यू देने जा रहे हो या किसी भी एक्सपीरियंस पे इंटरव्यू देने जा रहे हो, ये कैटेगरीज में से क्वेश्चंस बनने ही हैं। एंड विदाउट वेस्टिंग एनी टाइम आई विल गो टू द लिस्ट ऑफ कैटेगरीज or the type of questions that they can ask. First is project and experience based, then scenario based, client handling, teamwork, design, decision making and behavioral. So the structure of the video is कि हम एक एक करके एक एक वीडियो पे जाएंगे और देखेंगे कि एंटी हेजिटेटिंग टिप उसके लिए क्या हो सकती है, हम awkward साइलेंस कैसे ब्रेक कर सकते हैं, और इफ वी आर स्टक और फ्रीज व्हेन द क्वेश्चन कम्स तो हम उस सिचुएशन को कैसे हैंडल कर सकते हैं. सो I will go to the first category which is project and experience based. यहाँ पे ये जानना जरूरी है कि इंटरव्यूअर आपके पास्ट वर्क के डेप्थ जानना चाहता है. सबसे पहले मैनेजरियल राउंड में बिलीव मी दे आर नॉट लुकिंग फॉर अ करेक्ट आंसर, दे आर जस्ट लुकिंग फॉर हाउ यू विल respond to a particular problem or how you can find a solution or how you will deal with people. That's it. There is no right and wrong. सो जब भी आपके पास क्वेश्चन आएगा ना, यू जस्ट हैव टू चेक कि वो कौन सी कैटेगरी में फॉल करता है एंड देन यू कैन फ्रेम योर आंसर इमीडिएटली, ये जानते हुए कि वो क्या एनालाइज कर रहा है. आपको अपना आंसर परफेक्टली फिट करना है उसके एक्सपेक्टेशंस पे. तो प्रोजेक्ट और एक्सपीरियंस बेस्ड में वो आपके पास्ट वर्क की डेप्थ जानना चाहते हैं. तो इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट दैट यू आर प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दिस. इसीलिए फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज यू हैव टू कीप 2 to 3 प्रोजेक्ट्स रेडी इन मेमोरी विद अ शॉर्ट story for each of them. Then for bridging you can use a sentence like in most of my projects the main challenges were X. Let me give one example and then it will buy you time to think and frame your answer. Blank pauses को avoid करने के लिए you can always zoom in on your contribution, not just team effort. Okay, then second category is scenario or problem solving. यहाँ पे इंटरव्यूअर आपकी calmness, decision making और रिस्पॉन्सिबल नेचर को एनालाइज करने वाले हैं. फॉर दीज टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस यू कैन स्ट्रक्चर लाइक first of all what you will take is you will take an immediate action, then you will communicate within your team or to the stakeholder, and then you will find a long term fix for this problem because the problem has already occurred. So this is the structure: immediate action, communication, long term fix. Then you have to show that you prioritize impact plus transparency. Being honest is very important whenever you have any problem in the project. Okay, and don't overthink for the perfect answer is written also here in the list because they're not looking for a perfect answer, they're just looking on how you can react to the problems. Then default mindset should be stabilize, inform, resolve. Communication skills are important for this category. थर्ड कैटेगरी है क्लाइंट और स्टेक होल्डर हैंडलिंग. प्रोफेशनल कम्युनिकेशन एंड मेच्योरिटी विल बी जज्ड इन दिस कैटेगरी. एंटी हेजिटेटिंग टिप्स आर लाइक आपको ये बताना है कि आप क्लाइंट की नीड को समझ रहे हो, आप एक रियलिस्टिक सॉल्यूशन दे रहे हो और आप ट्रस्ट मेंटेन कर रहे हो, क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली हमेशा जो वो एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं हम उनको नहीं दे सकते. दिस इज वेरी ऑब्वियस, दिस इज द ट्रेड ऑफ. So you have to understand what the client needs and you have to give them the optimal or optimum solution, whatever it and then you have to maintain the trust of the client also. फिर आप bridging use कर सकते हो. Whenever you feel stuck, no, you just prepare 1 or 2 sentences that you can use in the interviews so that it would be helpful for you to buy time and think. So इस पर्टिकुलर कैटेगरी में एग्जाम्पल सेंटेंस है कि आई हैव मोस्टली इंटरेक्टेड विद प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर्स. In case you have not interacted with clients or stakeholders directly, then you can say this, but the principle is the same, which is keep it simple and focus on outcome. Default fallback would be I'd explain impact in simple terms and suggest an alternative timeline or approach. The same structure: understanding client need, giving realistic solutions and maintaining trust. ओके, नेक्स्ट कैटेगरी इज टीम वर्क एंड लीडरशिप. यहाँ पे आपका कोलैबोरेशन, मेंटरिंग और कोड क्वालिटी को जज किया जाएगा. एंटी हेजिटेटिंग टिप्स आर स्टार्ट विद अ पीपल फर्स्ट टोन. इनफैक्ट दिस skill is important for every category. You have to start with a people first tone. For example, I'd first listen to both sides. I'd first analyze both sides so that you can compare. Well, show collaboration is greater than ego for you. For mentoring, mention that you will break down the concepts or the work into simpler chunks so that it is easy to debug, it is easy to understand and find solutions. For reviews, emphasize constructive feedback, not criticism. It is one of the most important concept that the judge is that will you entertain feedback or not. So yes, we always want feedback. And the structure that you can note for this category is that you will listen, then you will guide your team or guide your client, and then you will come to a positive outcome. इसके लिए भी इट इज़ बेटर कि आप एक टीममेट हेल्पिंग अ टीममेट एग्जाम्पल रेडी कर पाओ तो ये एक बहुत ही जनरल क्वेश्चन है जो कि आ सकता है, और अगर आपके पास एक एग्जाम्पल ऐसा ऑलरेडी रेडी है कि आपने कब अपने टीममेट को हेल्प किया, कब अपने सीनियर को या अपनी टीम को हेल्प किया, सो इट्स will definitely help you. And if you still feel stuck, you can decide one sentence, frame it yourself, and you can also take it from this video. Like in my experience, I focus on clarity, empathy, and making sure delivery isn't blocked. Next category is design or UI UX awareness. Because it's a front end specific, not specific but front end inclined video, that's why category मैंने mention की है. But in case you're completely from back end, then no worries, nobody's gonna ask you questions on this category. Still, see, this tagline says not about pixel perfect design, but just anti-hesitating tip is don't panic. As I said, they are not expecting designer level answers from you. This is managerial round and not technical round. Then you have to keep this checklist in your mind, then that the application should be responsive, accessible, simple navigation, and performance. Once a small example if you can give, and if you still feel stuck or if you are blank or freeze, you can say, I may not be a designer, but as a developer, whatever you think is right according to the situation, you can. Next category is decision making and trade-offs. Here the interviewer will test your choices, and obviously they are not right or wrong. You just have to give the answer that you feel is right or fits best to the situation. Tip is always compare option A versus option B, then justify based on context. So you have to show the interviewer as well that you are thinking and analyzing both the situations equally. Start with it depends on. So it's a safe entry point for you, and you can always end with, so in this scenario I'd choose X because you have analyzed everything. Don't try to give the best answer, so you can evaluate trade-off. Okay. Last category is behavioral or HR style. Here your personality and mindset under stress or under tough conditions will be. For this category, it's better if you can prepare minimum two stories each on failure and success. For failures, you can take help from the structure, like the problem that was occurred and what you have learned from the problem and how you improved it. For pressure, you have to tell that you prioritize task, you communicated honestly with transparency, and you stayed calm during the situation. For motivation tied to learning, impact, and growth, the keywords are learning, impact, and growth. What you learned, what was the impact, and how you grew. If you still feel stuck, use bridging. Again and again, same rule in every category. Use bridging. I haven't faced exactly that, but in a similar situation I did, or in a similar situation I would prefer to do, etc. etc. So this was the last category, and practice a lot, practice a lot. This is the only way you can crack the interviews. Just by learning doesn't give you the confidence that you can get from practicing and from framing your answers, from speaking out loud for those answers. So I will post questions daily, 3 questions daily. I will try my best to post these 3 questions daily for you. Questions and answer them out loud, not in your head but out loud, so that your mind is prepared before the interview, that okay, these are the questions that can answer, and these are the questions that I'm not feeling comfortable with, so I have. Okay, in case of any doubt or any question or any suggestion as well, please, I will try to implement that in my next videos. Thank you so much for watching. Stay